Hello, T.A.B teachers and anyone else curious. I have spent the past couple of days getting this art studio classroom all set for the first day of school. I'm pretty much set up. I'm sure there are a few things that will need to be tidied and thought of before we really dive in, but I'm definitely ready for the first day, and I wanted to share what that looks like for anyone who's considering starting a T.A.B studio. Well, here's a little tour of everything set up for day one. So here's the door. I walk in. Children come here, and they enter to see this. They take a quick look around. They see colorful and fun, at least I hope, because that's my intention. The painting studio is over here, but on day one, we're just focusing on drawing and opening the drawing studio. So each center will have the same bin, even though this is set up and ready to go for painting. So each studio has a bin. There's a picture of what should be included right on it. Pencils, sharpeners, and a couple of erasers, and a whole bunch of paper. This is just copier paper, because on the first day we make sketchbooks using copier paper. That is going to be a separate video, so be sure to check that out if interested. So painting is all nice and set up. I use chairs as a way to determine how many people are allowed in the studio, so I write that in each studio. 4 chairs at painting. Same thing at printmaking, even though printmaking doesn't open technically for a while. It's just a second painting studio. And on day one, it's also drawing and sketchbook creating. We have examples to inspire. We have the 45-minute class agenda, sketchbook requirements. Not all T.A.B teachers use sketchbooks. I do. I rely on them as a way to sort of bookend the period. This is my desk. On it are the art supplies that will later be introduced and added to the drawing studio. Again, out currently for inspiration and to look forward to. On the board, passion, purpose, and play, which we will discuss early in the year. The art studio habits of mind, of course. Over here in fiber arts, everything is pretty much set up for when we open fiber arts. Pins and needles, scissors that are just for fabric. We have to make that very, very clear, otherwise they get covered in glue and paint. Sewing patterns, instructions, fabric, fiber fill, scraps. In the collage studio, nice and organized now. That'll last about 2 seconds when we open that, but that's okay, it's part of the fun. Magazines for collage, specialty papers, pictures, pages, and unwanted art. Sometimes kids using the art supplies to create is more about the process than what they are actually making in the end. So if they have something they don't want, it can definitely be used later by someone else for collage. So I keep a bin just for that. And then this is actually a multimedia example of something I made starting with a picture from unwanted art bin. Okay, so this is the Fiber Arts and Collage Studio. It only has 4 chairs, which is why the center studio is for overflow of that as well as other things. So here, center studio. And I remade my sign because it was getting old and bent. You also notice that each studio has a little tiny trash. That helps so much with managing the room. And when it's full, students empty it into the larger garbage, which is the garbage for the paint studio. And then in printmaking, there's a garbage over there on the floor. And all of the other studios farther from the sink have a tiny trash. So drawing studio, overflow, pop-up studios happen here, and the daily demo. All of the drawing supplies are here on the cart, the other cart, and on my desk. And then finally, my welcome chalkboard is finished. Then the invention and innovation station, which eventually will become hot glue, has, like the others, a tiny trash, sketchbook making supplies. And here's the other part of sculpture. And then there's 4 seats at hot glue, 5 seats in this section, tiny trash, and supplies for the first couple of days. Empty shelves that will eventually be filled with sculptures being made and in progress by students. The sculpture caddy eventually will go on the table. The size tester is very important. My rule is that if they work larger than that, they have to take it home that same day because I usually don't have a place to store it, or they can take it to their homeroom and store it there. A couple of examples for inspiration, and a whole bunch of clay that has arrived. We don't have a kiln, but we do some air dry clay work. And then, last but not least, the view from the desk. Got some key materials here. My computer's to my left, and I can see from here how everything looks and how things are going. Alright, hopefully this video gives some people some ideas or validates what you're already doing. Good luck, everyone. Have a really, really great school year.